Okay, we're ramming up a couple of molds this morning. I thought it'd be fun to take you along as I sweat my ass off out here. We had a little bit of a wind blowing through this morning and it was a little bit cooler, and I thought it might be okay, but it's still hotter than crap. But anyway, I've got a couple of molds rammed up. I've got a shaper guard already done, and I've got one of my little wheel hubs. I've cast it up. We'll see how it comes out. It did not get a real good pull, and this pattern, if I was going to do more than two, actually needs a fair amount more work. It's pretty sticky. But we'll see how this first one comes out. If it's usable, we'll cast one more the same way without spending a whole lot more time and effort on this particular pattern. But I'm going to ram up one of these mold sides, one of these, and there again, not perfect, but we're just going to drop it into a flask. I'm going to cope it down to it. I haven't made a dedicated follow board for it, so we're just going to ram up one and see if it comes out, see what they look like. So I thought you might like to come along. There again, quick and dirty. It's what it is what it is, but it is awful hot out here today. So I think we'll probably go ahead and run the furnace off, and we'll see before I actually fire it up. We'll see how hot it is in here, or how hot it is outside, and if we're going to be able to accomplish anything else out here without it being tremendously hot. Opened up the sand bin, and it's actually awful muggy out here. There's just about the right amount of moisture in here, but down here in the bin, when I first opened it up, it immediately made it pretty humid right here. But what it is what it is. Could use a little bit bigger flask for these. We're crowding this side a little bit more than I would like. Alright, let's see what that does. Maybe, maybe not. Huh. Well, bottom half came out. I wonder if we can get the top out. That's not really what I was looking for. I figured that top would separate out of there. Maybe. So now, before I forget it while it's fresh in my mind, let's go ahead and gate the other side so we don't end up with a pattern that's got no gating in it. Okay. Actually, I think that's a pretty good pull right there. Actually, I feel pretty good about that one. We're going to put riser sleeves on all of these, my normal little riser sleeves. So there's 3 molds rammed up. I may ram one more just for posterity. Just see what we come up with. Normally with the space I've got, I only like 3. 3 is about what I consider the max if I set them up and stagger them for them sitting right in here. Once we get the door put in and open it up to the outside, why, then we'll ram a couple more. So I think while we're playing, what do we want to do here? Actually, let's go to an old standby. Match plate vibrator. I've still got one more that I haven't installed, but I've got 3 or 4 more match plates going together, so let's just go ahead and ram up another one of these. If I've done anything even halfway right, I feel pretty good about ramming one of these because they almost always come out. It's very rare that I have a failure with one of these. This is one of those tried and true, well-proven designs. And, you know, other than I need to put another coat of finish on it, why, this is one that pretty much always works for me. Now, the only downside to this one is I just forgot to put my sprue and my riser in it. And it's one that I do normally set inside. But we'll cut it afterwards. This is one of those patterns that's made it to the point that I really don't even know that I need to put parting compound on it. It's smooth enough, works well enough that it just is a really good pattern or match plate. And now that I've said that, why, this is one that'll we'll pop it out and something will have gone wrong. I guess I better go fire up the compressor. I haven't even started it yet this morning. I'll be right back. This one we don't do a riser on it, we just install the sprue, that's all it takes. May not have enough air yet to pull this. on the back side of the farm. Okay, so let's see if we can get a sprue in here. Much easier when I do it with the oh, you know, I probably should have looked. I may not have an insert ready to go in one of these. Add a little more gating just to be sure that I got this right. Now we'll just give it that. That'll work. Now this is one that does actually work really well with the little bitty sprue. It's what I normally put in there. Let's see if we've got an insert to put in this for our core. Oh yeah, we do have one. Okay. So let me set this one over here out of the way. Chastain originally called this out as a baked sand core, or some sort of a core. I found a lot of these things work really well just with green sand. You know, I don't find it's necessary to screw around on a lot of this stuff with the core. Now there are some stuff that I will core, but for me to screw around with stuff like this with the core, I don't think it's worth doing. just like that. And that one's ready to go. So that's 4, which is more than I will normally do. Like I say, in here, that's space constraints and it's too hot this time of year. All that good stuff. So now all we need is some sprue extensions. Try that again. a little bit soft. We use that as a riser. Okay. Well, you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and finish ramming up these risers. I'll get the pouring floor set up and fire up the furnace, and I got to go in and change my clothes, put on some long pants and all that good kind of stuff. And I'm probably going to go ahead and pour, and I'll bring you back for the shakeout. So there we go. Be back in a bit. Alright. Well, with me being impatient as I am, I got these poured probably about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to go ahead and start popping them open. There's nothing that's that critical to where I'm too concerned about it. I'll leave the biggest ones for the last, and we'll just go through these other ones because I think I'm really interested to see how they turned out. I'm actually pretty optimistic about all of them. They look like they came out. The one that's the worst one was the worst one that I rammed up, and that was one of the wheel hubs for on the sand muller. So let's pop it open and see what we come up with here. Let me move you down here so you can see. Like I say, this is the one that I was the most, probably, I won't say disappointed in it, but this is the one that if any of them didn't come out, I expected to be this one. Yeah, we got quite a bit of fallout in it as far as in the center and stuff, but I expected that. Hot, hot. I'll reprocess all this sand again after I get these all broke out and let them cool down a little bit. And I'll go ahead and go through and sift it and see what we've got. I did manage to find a piece of 4-inch round stock. I ended up and ordered it off of our Wondrous auction site, which was, there again, that was a pretty good deal. So, as I said before, you can get some good buys, but just not on any of the Atlas stuff. This is one of those old sanding flasks that I just hate to get rid of it because they do still work for stuff like this. You know, they're not the best flask and they're well used and abused, but they do still do what they're supposed to do. Outside, it's not a bad looking casting. It's not anything spectacular. There is a fair amount of fallout, and there was pieces. I knew the core was not really a good core per se, but it didn't. I got aluminum that sucked in through there. But as long as I've got enough material inside to support the bearings, the rest of it will be fine. These faces will get faced off. I can turn those. That fallout doesn't make a bit of difference. So all in all, that will probably be a fine casting. So I'll probably fumble through, since I only need one more of these for the muller. I'll probably just fumble through and try and cast one and get it to be this quality or better. So yeah, we're going to have enough material in there that one's going to work out fine. Yeah, let's finish cleaning that out. But we've got enough material that'll all bore out for the bearing housings or the bearing race. So we get that going. So there's one good one. One satisfactory one. We won't say it's a good one. I guess I can set them over here on the top of the furnace for right now. Okay. This one I'm going to say is good with 100% certainty. This is just a another match plate vibrator. So I know it's a good one. See, there's a bearing race in there. That's pretty much a no-brainer. As I said before, this one just always works. Always makes satisfactory castings. That one will be fine. Yep, number 2 is good. Okay, the third one will be the end of the flask, or one portion of those flasks. But I've still not convinced myself 100% that I like. There we are. Casting's fine, nothing wrong with it. We'll see by the time I get done making 7 more of these if I'm really impressed with this flask or not. But yeah, all in all, I consider that perfectly acceptable for shop hardware. And that's realistically what all three of these were, was just shop hardware. They don't matter to anybody other than me. Alright, let's see if we've got a good shaper guard here. So far. Okay, from the back side that looks good. I'm going to be happy with that. It's not a perfect one, but that's not a bad one either. So, still playing with gating and venting a little bit on these. I'll do a little more work on that pattern. But anyway, there's another guard. Now once I cut the risers off of this and go over it real quick, I will probably go ahead and load it to the website. Once I've got a guard to this point where I know I've got a good casting and one ready to go, I only spend another 2-3 hours on it getting it finally ready over the course of a day or two. So like I say, when I get a casting to this point, especially like this shaper guard, I'll probably go ahead and list it. So there'll be one more up on the website. I'll probably load this to the hillsgun or to the Atlas Machine Shop website rather than the hillsgun site, just because that's where I'm trying to load all the Atlas stuff through. So anyway, that's my morning's work. Relatively cool out today, so I'll probably do a little bit more. I may go work on that casting flask and see if I can't get it dovetailed and at least ready to go together. So 4 castings for this morning's work for my little podunk foundry. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button and you like this kind of content, I'd appreciate it. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comments section for me below. Like it, share it, all that good stuff. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.